What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It's been a while since I've hopped on here and made an actual YouTube. I've been very active on TikTok. If you do not follow my TikTok, I will have the link in the description. If you are coming over from TikTok, welcome. I appreciate you. If you do follow me on TikTok, you would know that we won an absolute banger of a bet today. As you can see right here, we put $1,000 on the Pistons under 100.5 points. Now, if you are new to this channel, that is a much larger bet than I usually make. However, I have these bets that I place on TikTok, ones that I'm very, very confident in. I got to come up with a name for them. But when I do put these picks on there that I'm extremely confident in, where I do bet these large amounts of money on, they are extremely accurate and they hit a lot. So if you do want those bets, you want those daily free picks, make sure you go follow me on TikTok, because I really don't give those out on YouTube. I break down the research and what I'm looking at. I kind of walk you through what I do to find these things, okay? I do that, and I basically just talk about sports news over here, okay? So if you want the free picks, make sure you go follow me on TikTok. And now without further ado, let's hop over to Fanduel. So as you can see here, we actually have a pretty sizable slate tomorrow, which can be dangerous for some people, especially if you bet on these early games and you may be going a little losing streak. Could be a little dangerous for the bankroll, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just get into a real quick breakdown. Nothing real deep in these games. I'll have a more in-depth video out tomorrow, but just a real quick analysis of these games. The first game we have here is the Brooklyn Nets at the Washington Wizards, and immediately what catches my eye is I'm sensing a bit of an overreaction with Kevin Durant being out. Obviously, he's a great player. He's averaging about 30 points per game, so that's a lot to replace, but they still have Kyrie Irving and they still have James Harden. One bet that I actually really want to look at, it's not going to be out yet. These prop bets are never out this early, but I really want to look at James Harden points plus assist. I really do think James Harden's usage is going to go up. If you guys remember last year when Kevin Durant went out, James Harden was playing at that Houston Rockets type of usage level. He was actually pushing, he was making a late push into the MVP discussion when KD was out last year, and I expect similar results here over this next month-long stretch. If I was going to pick a side here, if I was going to pick a spread or a total, I would probably lean towards Brooklyn -1. Again, guys, these aren't my official bets yet. This is just a really quick dive into things, just to see, get an idea for what I'm going with tomorrow, get an idea for what's out there. Next up, we got my team, the Philadelphia 76ers, hosting the Orlando Magic. Now, obviously, if you guys follow NBA to any sort of degree, you know that Joel Embiid is probably one of the hottest players in the NBA right now. So any bet involving him is not a bad idea when it comes to props, but the number is starting to creep up a little bit. However, if we look at his prop, I checked this out before I started recording, his point prop is down to 28.5, so that might actually be worth a look. Another one that might not be bad when it comes to a player prop is Tyrese Maxey over 16.5 for actually plus money. Tobias Harris, I'm not making any bets on that man. I'm not touching that dude with a 10-foot pole right now. He's been absolutely atrocious. Stay away from him. The Orlando Magic have one of the worst offenses in the league, and that's not really going to help with Wendell Carter. I believe he's questionable for tomorrow. He's been out for a bit of a stretch, but he's probably not going to play tomorrow. Philadelphia plays at a very slow pace as well. It fits Joel Embiid to a T. So with the slow pace of Philly, with just a really horrible offense and a horrible offensive efficiency of the Magic, you could look at the under, but I would look at a team total. That's one thing I like to do. I like to look at team totals versus game totals, because if one team gets hot, say if you have the over, one team gets hot, does their part, another team can come out and completely lay an egg. I like picking one side for those totals. I love team totals. So looking at the Orlando Magic team total under, we'll see if we can find it here. It's probably not up this early. We'll scroll down here and see if we can find it. Yeah, it's not up, but that would be something that we can look at. That's something I'm definitely going to be looking at as well. For the sake of the spread and the total, I would lean Philadelphia 76ers -12, and I would go with under 211.5. I'm not going to go over every single game on here. Like I said, these are just really quick breakdowns. It's pretty late. You guys can see the time down here is 1:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to look at games that just stick out. And one game that I do see sticking out is the Grizzlies at the Bucks. As long as there's no injuries out there, man, I think 6.5 is too many points to be laying against the Memphis Grizzlies right now. Really, no matter what team you are. The Grizzlies, you can argue, are one of the hottest teams in the NBA. They're playing really well. So, I mean, looking at the Grizzlies plus 6.5 here, that looks like a great bet early on. We'll see if that line moves. I guarantee you that goes down to at least 5.5 tomorrow, as long as there's not any injuries that I don't know about. This game here, Cleveland at Chicago, is going to be an interesting one. I want to see what the total is going to be. Zach LaVine is out. I believe he has some sort of a knee injury. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%, but I do know LaVine is out. The Bulls have been a hot team. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been a hot team as well. Darius Garland is looking like a young superstar out there in Cleveland. So this should be a really high scoring game. I'm not sure if Caruso's playing. If Caruso's playing for the Bulls, that could give them an edge. Like I said, I'm not 100%. I did zero research going into this. Very, very minimal. So like I said, take this video with a grain of salt, just pointing out what I like. But based on this early line, the Bulls are at home. The Bulls play really, really well at home. I would take the Bulls money line here, minus 102, if I were to place a bet on this right now. The next team, the next bet I would look at would be the Rockets at the Jazz. There's been a lot of drama going on over there in Utah right now. They've really folded against some pretty crappy teams. There's been some drama with Donovan Mitchell calling out the team, everything like that, so on and so forth. But I mean, the Rockets are horrible, man. I mean, they can't stop anybody. The Utah Jazz are relatively healthy. I believe everyone is playing tomorrow. The Rockets, they have Christian Wood, who's a good young piece. Eric Gordon can, he can put on a show if he gets hot. But, I mean, the Jazz have one of the most efficient offenses in the league. They got Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, year in, year out. This is another one where I would like to look at the Rockets total and maybe hit the under on this. I don't know if I trust laying 12 right now with the Jazz, so I would probably look towards those team totals, or I would look at a Rudy Gobert rebound type of prop. Now, the next one I would look at here is the Pistons at the Kings. We just made money off of the Pistons today. And something with the Pistons is when they are an away underdog, they just completely fall apart. I understand the Kings aren't exactly the hottest team in the NBA. I understand they're not exactly the best team in the NBA. But the Pistons on the road this year have a margin of victory of negative 15. So that means on average, right, they're losing by around 15 points on the road this year, which is just abysmal. It's not very good at all. They just played a back-to-back today where they got absolutely hammered. All right, so they're staying out there. They're playing the Kings after playing the Warriors. You might want to look Kings, maybe minus 5.5 here if you trust that. But this is one where I might look to go over 220.5. The Pistons have no defense, right? Actually, I take that back. I may want to look at the Kings total here because the Pistons, I saw tonight, cannot shoot at all. They are terrible at shooting the ball. The Warriors were basically letting them shoot the ball from beyond the arc whenever they wanted to, and they could not get anything going. If they would have made just 35% of those three-pointers that they were chucking up, my bet would have got crushed. But they could not make anything. You're never going to catch me betting points with the Pistons, okay? Like I said, usually I might look at this total here, but after seeing what I saw today with the Pistons, I'm not touching that. If I look to any side on this, it's going to be the Kings spread or the Kings total points. So yeah, man, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the first look at these bets. This is the next day now. I was recording that beginning part of the video last night, so it is the next day now. I haven't really looked at the lines, but I will have my official picks posted on TikTok later, so make sure you follow me over there as well. If you're coming from TikTok or you found this channel on YouTube, I will do these breakdowns daily, usually just with NBA, NFL, college basketball, and college football. Obviously, I know some of those aren't in season anymore, but those are the sports I usually like to stick with. We'll mix in some MLB there as well. If you guys like these styles of videos, make sure you hit the like button, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below if you're coming over from TikTok too. Let me know you clicked on the link and let me know you came over here. That's all I got for you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed, and good luck today. I love y'all, and peace out.